Hello everyone, in this video I am going to show you how to conduct the virtual lab for MB4 test 4, which is the Sieve analysis of coarse aggregate. For that, you need to open the Word file that contains the links for all the virtual lab. You can find this file in Spectrum. As usual, all you have to do is click on the link or copy paste it. So for now I am just going to copy paste the link. Okay, it has redirected to the virtual lab page. Make sure you have clicked on the correct link. You should be able to see this fineness modulus of coarse aggregate. So basically this experiment is exactly the same as fineness modulus of fine aggregate. The only difference here is they are using coarse aggregate instead of fine aggregate, and also the sieve size will vary a bit. But apart from that, the concept and the methodology are the same. So now, before we move on to the simulator, let's have a quick look at the theory. A sieve analysis or gradation test determines the distribution of aggregate particles by size within a given sample. This information can then be used to determine the compliance with design and production requirements. The data can also be used to understand the relationship between aggregates or blends and to predict trends during production. So you can read the theory on your own. Now let's have a look at the simulator. The objective of this experiment is to determine the fineness modulus of coarse aggregate. So this is the setup of the apparatus. You need a mechanical shaker, sieve set, weighing scale, and also trace. Next, okay. First of all, you need to turn on the weighing scale, and then place the tray here and then tare it. Okay, in here they are using 1 kg of coarse aggregate, but then in our lab we will be using 5 kg of coarse aggregate. Okay, next. Okay, now you need to arrange the sieve set starting from pan, and after the pan you need to arrange the sieve sizes in ascending order. If you notice here, the sizes here are 150 micrometer, 300 micrometer, 600 micrometer, and then got 1.18 mm, 2.36 mm, 4.75 mm. Okay, until here this is exactly the same as what we use in our lab. But then after this, in our lab we will be using 9.5 mm, and the largest size will be 19 mm. But then here they are using 10 mm, 16 mm, 20 mm, 40 mm, and also 80 mm. So I want you to modify the data table accordingly. Okay, now let's just arrange the sieve set first. You don't have to do much, just follow the arrow and click on it. So this methodology is exactly the same as fineness modulus of fine aggregate. So if you have already done that, this shouldn't be a problem for you. Okay, now we need to pour the 1 kg of coarse aggregate and then close it with a lid. Next, okay, now you need to place the sieve set on the mechanical shaker and let it shake. Restrain it, tighten the screws, turn on the shaker, and then let it shake. Okay, now you need to loosen the screws, remove the restraint, and remove the sieve set. Now take off the lid. Okay, now you need to weigh the coarse aggregate retained on each sieve and also the pan. Now let's start from the 80 mm, and then you go one by one. Okay, tare, and you click here. Okay, no coarse aggregate, 0. Then next, tare, okay, this is actually quite interesting. If you notice earlier, the amount of coarse aggregate that they used is 1 kg, but then somehow magically there's more than 2000 more than 2 kg here. Okay, never mind, later I'll tell you what to do. Tear it, then okay, at least got some value. Oh, and another thing, this experiment doesn't have a few trials like the previous experiments, so make sure all your group members take part in this, and then make sure you record the video of you conducting the lab. Okay, this is the last one, pen. Okay, no weight also, so let's click next. Okay, now make sure all of you take turn and then fill in the blanks and then get the finest modulus. Okay, remember just now I said the amount of coarse aggregate that they are using in this virtual lab is 1 kg, but then just now one of the Sieve set itself already exceeded 1 kg, was more than 2 kg already. Okay, now if you look here, the total weight is 3 kg. So now what I want you to do is, in your lab report, instead of writing 1 kg, you just write 3 kg. Okay, just change the value to 3 kg. Okay, and another thing, in fineness modulus of fine aggregate, I remember the graph was readily provided for you, but then here the graph is not given, so unfortunately you have to do the graph on your own. Okay, I think this is the end of the virtual lab. Now let's move on to the discussion question. If you have a look at your lab guide, you'll find there's 6 questions for this test, starting from significance till minimization and minimization of error for MB4 test 4. Got 6 questions, so I want all of you to do all these 6 questions. And then apart from this, I also have a couple more questions. You can find them here in the virtual lab page. All you have to do is go to the assignment, and then you can see got 2 questions here. Just now was 6, and then now here got 2, so altogether 8 questions. I want you to answer all these 8 questions. Make sure to do all the discussion questions on your own. You can refer to other sources, but then write them using your own words. I think that's all for the discussion part. So let me just give you a recap on what you're supposed to do. Your report should contain everything that a normal report contains, starting from introduction till conclusion. So you will have introduction, apparatus, material, got procedures, and then your data table, there'll be a a little bit difference there. You just have to modify it accordingly because of the sieve size. Okay, and then you have to do your data analysis. You need to do your discussion questions, and then you end your report with conclusion. So that's all. So that's all for your report. I think this is it. Thank you for listening.